But Dr. Siegel, these feelings, these deeply held feelings that particularly as this polling shows some Democrats may feel, is that understandable given the very end of the election season? Remember, President Trump was painted as someone who was really almost evil to an extent, as a misogynist, as a racist, as a fascist, as someone who has Nazi sympathies, you know. And so if you were a believer in that and that's where you got your ideas from, you might be feeling nervous heading into a new administration and this new year.
I have a prescription for that. By the way, a study out of the University of Nebraska by Kevin Smith, a political scientist, shows the exact same thing, that more anxiety, more depression after the election among Democrats that won't let go of the idea that Trump is evil. My prescription is look at it from a different point of view. Get up in the morning and say, hey, here's a president that doesn't use a teleprompter much, that speaks his mind. You can actually tell what he thinks. Maybe the border will be more secure. Find an issue. Find something you think might actually be better. Give the man a chance. Let go of your hatred. Let go of your bad feelings, especially with the new year. That's what a psychologist would say. Mental health is definitely separate among Republicans versus Democrats right now. Republicans rejoicing, Democrats angry, won't let go of their anger they need to.
Or just even tune it out. You know, like a couple of segments ago, we were listening to all the hatred by journalists on television saying, well, we don't understand these MAGA supporters. They have to be greedy and evil and this and that. Just tune it out. If you can't get on board, tune it out, and you can at least focus on yourself and maybe feel a little bit more optimistic. We have, what, less than 12 hours until 2025? I'd love to think that the border is going to be secure, that we're going to make more money, prices are going to come down, that we'll feel safer, that it's okay to say something not so politically correct and there will be no cancel culture and no repercussions for that. I would like to breathe a sigh of relief, and I think those are some things that all people can get behind.
Can I just say it? I am so happy. I'm so happy. And it feels to me like America has breathed that collective sigh of relief. Yeah. I mean, people just seem, there's a spring in their step on the streets. People were saying Merry Christmas.
Yes. And they were spending more.
Yeah, we love it. We love it. Get their GDP up. Not at all costs, but get it up at this point. And so I'm so happy. Merry Christmas, you guys. This is a woke fog has lifted. Let's just celebrate it. Let's celebrate it. Come on.
Go ahead, Nicole.
Absolutely, and I'm with you. I think Americans feel hope, and you know, regardless of where you stand on the political spectrum, let's give President Trump a chance. And I love that he's about defending and protecting everybody. And when he popped back up on July 13th and he said, fight, 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 that touched every American. That touched every human being around the world, regardless of how you felt about him. I really feel strongly about that. And I think that's when a lot of people said, you know what, let's give this man a chance. That's who we want to be in charge. But as far as New Year's resolutions, I know that health is at the top of the list as well. And that, to me, is very important. Without your health, you really don't have anything. So that's something that I want to focus on, being healthy, getting in shape, and, you know, trying to help others and give service.
I think, you know, as an American, regardless of any election outcome, we're so blessed to live in this country, and you can always enter a new year with hope because we share values. Regardless of who the president is, regardless of who wins an election, we share these American values.
You know, two quick things to point out. It was Barack Obama who said there are no red states or blue states. These are the United States. That sentiment we need now. And after 9/11, when President Bush stood up on that car, everybody supported him, over 90% approval rating. We need that now, too. Let's give President Trump a chance, even if you're a Democrat. Let's hope he succeeds.
God bless America. It's going to be a good year.
Hey, everyone. I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.